In this video, we are going to discuss the topic from chapter number 4, Atomic Structure, from the book A New Approach to ICSE Chemistry, Class 9. And the topic to be discussed is the Rutherford's experiment. In our previous videos, we have studied how the arrangement of electrons and protons were discovered by the scientists called J.J. Thomson. And the next scientist, Rutherford, Ernest Rutherford, he also performed some experiments to justify the position of electrons and protons within the atom. So he conducted the experiment to get the arrangement of electrons and protons inside the atom, means to say how the electrons and protons are arranged in an atom. For this, Rutherford conducted an experiment using a radioactive substance from which positively charged particles were emitted. Let's see the experiment in the video. So Ernest Rutherford, he decided to see the arrangements of electrons and protons in this experiment. He took a radioactive substance and he placed that radioactive substance in a box made up of lead. The radioactive substance inside the lead box produced positively charged alpha particles. These alpha particles are having sufficient kinetic energy in them, and these particles move in a zigzag manner inside the box. This lead box is having a small hole in it through which the alpha particles, which are moving in a zigzag manner inside the lead box, they are produced out. These alpha particles are allowed to come out through this box only through this hole, and these particles move further, coming out from this hole after having several collisions inside the box. These particles are then bombarded on this gold foil. This encircled substance is a gold foil which is placed inside a zinc sulfide screen. This green colored zinc sulfide screen is placed around the gold foil on which the alpha particles are striked. You can see that alpha particles, they pass through gold foil, and some of the alpha particles, they move straight, and some of the alpha particles, they don't move straight and they bend from its initial path and strike at the fluorescent zinc sulfide screen whenever the alpha particles strike on a zinc sulfide screen, a scintillation is produced, means to say a light is being produced on the zinc sulfide, which is shown as a green color in this video. This green color is a scintillation produced when the alpha particles strike on the zinc sulfide screen after passing this gold foil. Now, alpha particles, when they pass through gold foil and they produces scintillations at the several different areas of the zinc sulfide screen, this shows that many of the alpha particles went straight and they produce scintillation exactly in front of it. This part shows that an atom is having maximum space empty, because of which these alpha particles are moving straight through the gold foil and they are striking on the portion in front of it and making scintillations over there. The second thing which Rutherford observed was that few particles, they made the scintillations a few distance away from the center point of the zinc sulfide screen. This shows that the alpha particles must have been deflected by some of the particles which are positive in nature, because as we have discussed that the alpha particles are of positive charge and same charges always repel each other. This means that an atom is having a small portion in it which could be also of positive charge, and when these particles passes near to these positively charged particles, when the alpha particles passes close to the positively charged particles present inside the atom, makes the alpha particles deflected from its initial path. The next thing which Rutherford observed is that few particles, they were producing scintillations at the backside of the gold foil. This means that some of the alpha particles must be striking on the positively charged part in the atom and they must be reflected back, and the scintillations are produced at the backside of the gold foil on the zinc sulfide screen. Thus, the Rutherford came to the conclusions about the arrangement of protons and electrons of the atom. If we look these things in the book, we see that the conclusions made by the Rutherford are given, and the conclusions are: the atom on the whole is relatively empty and the positively charged mass is concentrated over a very small place within the atom, and the angle through which the alpha particles got scattered depends upon the angle at which they approach the positively charged concentrated mass within the atom. Rutherford concluded that the volume occupied by an atom mostly consists of large empty spaces. This is supported by the fact that most of the alpha particles went straight through the gold foil without any deflection. This means that most of the portion of the atom is empty from inside. The second conclusion is that the nucleus is located within the atom containing positively charged particles. It is supported by the fact that only few alpha particles got deflected when they approached the nucleus very closely. The third conclusion is the size of the nucleus must be very small as compared to the total volume of the atom. This is supported by the fact that most of the alpha particles passed straight through the gold foil and very few got scattered and very few got reflected back. This shows that the positive mass inside the atom is of a small size, because of which only few particles are scattered and reflected back. The fourth conclusion says that the electrons within the atom must revolve around the nucleus at various distances at a very high speed. This means that the electrons must be revolving in the definite path around the nucleus. Here you can see the positively charged blue sphere, which is the nucleus, and the pink colored electrons are revolving continuously around the nucleus. So these are the conclusions which were given by Rutherford from his experiment. As the Rutherford conducted the experiment and gave his conclusions, he further linked his structure of atom to the solar system. He said that as in solar system, sun is in the center and the planets are revolving around it. Similarly, in an atom, the nucleus is in the center of the atom and electrons are revolving around it at the various distances. Just like. But Rutherford experiment was having a drawback. His drawback was he compared the electrons to the planet of the solar system. Because of this comparison, other scientists discarded his theory and experiment. His theory was discarded because he said, as the electrons are revolving around the nucleus in the same manner as the planets are revolving around the sun, the classical electrodynamics studies says that if any electrically charged particle, such as electrons, revolve in a particular path, circular path, those electrically charged particles will radiate out heat energy. If those particles will radiate out energy, if these electrons will radiate out energy, they will move closer to the nucleus. As you can see here, that if the electrons are revolving, they should move closer and closer to the nucleus, because they are continuously radiating out energy. And if this process continues and the electrons move towards the nucleus in the spiral path, at last it should collide with the nucleus. And if the electrically charged electrons collides with the nucleus, the atom should not exist as it will explode. Thus, the comparison of an atom to the solar system was the drawback of the Rutherford's experiment. As we know that atom is a very stable, and Rutherford's model atom experiment cannot explain how the atom can be stable, as the classical electrodynamics theory says that all the charged particles revolving in a circular path should radiate out energy, and at last it should collide with the nucleus. So he was not able to explain the stability of his atom, and thus his experiment was discarded by his fellow scientists. That's all for this video.